Hello, it's me. It's time for a new video where I draw, and I'm already a little bit scared because in the last few videos I've already made terrible mistakes of smearing, so I was like, maybe I will smear again before the ink dries, but let's hope not. It is April 13th. It's almost halfway through the month. What am I doing? I was like dipping my nib into water. Let me put the water here. Right. I have been on a mental roller coaster, mental and emotional roller coaster. Some of it is definitely self-manufactured, and other, I will blame my hormones. So yeah, that's how things have been for me. But I have to say right now I'm okay. We're good. Right now we're good. Did I say I'm good? I have to stop laughing so I can draw. Okay. So I was chatting with Max, and we both use Hobonichi for 2024. He uses the daily, and he like sent me this quote that was it for today? Or actually I don't think he showed me the date, but it was a quote that spoke about how this author, the author of the quote, was like, I would like to inspire myself from everyday things around me. And it actually reminded me of this commercial on for Domestika. Oh no, I'm gonna get like targeted ads for Domestika. But another artist was like, I like to draw inspiration from every day because that's where we spend most of our time. And I was like, yeah, that's really cute. I like the concept that like we should be inspired by our everyday lives. And so in a way, I was thinking about how I can enrich my life without too much pressure. Not sure how to like explain what I mean, but it goes along the lines of like last time I was really glad to get a lot of comments on how everyone thinks about finances, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I have fun without spending too much money? Because I can definitely have fun spending money. I'm kind of in a very frugal state in the moment. To be very honest, I'm also like job hunting for something to supplement art. So I really hope something works out. Because things be expensive. But what I realize as well is that everyone's struggling too. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. This is getting deep really, really fast. But I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And I do want to do well in this like art freelance career that I'm on right now. but at the same time, I have to be realistic about financial situation. But then at the same time, I also have to understand that I need to not worry so much and enjoy life before it slips by. Well, I sound like so guru-ish, but oh, so many things. Let me see. This angle is weird. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this month. Getting things ready. I've also been working on my freelance with Yoseka. If you've been following the Patreon blog, I'm still waiting for feedback for my freelance with Cute Things from Japan. I guess I should just update on YouTube. But basically, I finished a huge chunk of Cute Things from Japan freelance, and I'm waiting for some feedback. And I've also finished the TSL half of my freelance with Yoseka Stationery, which is really, really great. So now I've started to work on my last project for Yoseka Stationery, and I'm really excited because it's cats. It's all gonna be cat themed. The best part is that I have so many pictures of cats on my for reference on my devices, and I'm like, yeah, look at all these pets that don't belong to me. They're adorable. I love cats. I've always been more of a cat person, but I could never own a cat because I have this instilled fear of hair. Well, I this is like gone on to a really long tangent, but basically I had the fear of Arceus like instilled into me about like pet hair, because my siblings, when they were younger, they were allergic to pet dander. Now they're fine. Both of them are like totally fine. They have their own pets. But like every time we went over to someone's house and they had a pet or something, we would come home and I always felt this like stress from my parents to like take off my clothes immediately and put them in the wash and then like go for a shower so that no allergens would be present and my siblings would be okay. My siblings were really asthmatic when they were younger. So I remember a lot of nights where they would like cough nonstop or like have a little asthma attack. It's not fun for them, but also like it's a little bit traumatic for me. So when people cough like for long duration, it kind of triggers like a little bit of stress in me. My blood pressure goes up. This is 60. I don't know where I went with that, but basically pet hair. Why did I start talking about that? I'm not sure. Laundry? I don't know. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, I can't have cats, but then why was I talking about cats? I'm sorry, guys. This isn't like streaming where people can tell me in real time what I was talking about. Anyhow. Next week, I'm actually gonna be helping babysit my brother's dog. So I'm not sure how that's gonna be like, because now that my siblings are no longer allergic, it's okay to have like pet hair around and pet dander. So I actually asked him, like, hey, does your dog shed? And he's like, yeah, I have hair all over my clothes. So I was like, I see. It scares me because I'm not used to that. Anyways, now the internet knows I have a hair and pet hair phobia. And it's only recently that I realized it's kind of weirdly out of the ordinary. It doesn't seem to bother a lot of people. It bothers me. Okay. Where should I put this? Here? But yeah, yesterday I was also chatting and catching up with a friend of mine, and we were basically talking about how life is really hard. I was like, how was your session with your therapist? And she's like, oh, just ranted. I was like, mood. Like, we just shared about each other's thoughts on stuff like that. And I think the more I talk with people, the more I realize everyone struggles. Everyone struggles in their own way. And that's just how it is. I have a lot of kind of like internalized shame about where I am in life, because I don't own a home. You know, my career is very it's not that great. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing art, but it's very hard to sustain it, to have it be sustainable, especially with, like, everyone knows social media is really hard to keep up with. So I'm doing the responsible thing for me to, like, job hunt and such. I'm also looking to move again. So we'll see how that looks like. A lot of moving pieces. Oh, and I'm so sorry. I always forget to say in the beginning, but thank you for all the patrons and the Ko-Fi supporters who support me monthly. You guys really help me survive. Honestly, like, when I buy food or when I buy, like, essentials, I'm like, thank you. This is thanks to people who support me on the internet. So it's very appreciated. Yeah. But yes, the more I talk to people, the more I realize that, man, like, everyone has their own kind of struggles. Like, not one person has, like, well, some people can have the same struggles but go through it differently because all our circumstances are really different. And I was just telling my friend about it, how, like, you know, that's how everyone feels. So doesn't that mean I should just chill out on myself a bit and not put too much pressure on myself? I have, like, my, like, my white parents, that I talk to more than my biological parents. And they were like, you put a lot of pressure on yourself and you need to like, you know, like calm down a bit. Like, it's gonna be okay. And what's the point of doing that? Is it gonna help you be a better person? Is it gonna help you like do better in general? I was like, no, you're right. It's not helping anyone. In fact, it's putting like unnecessary stress on me, myself. And I noticed that this has happened to me before, like in another setting where I had like a lot of stress, where it becomes the only thing I talk about. Like I'm doing right now with you guys. But I also had a tattoo appointment that I booked. And it's with an artist I've been wanting to have for a long time. So that's why I was like, okay, this is finally happening. The stars and schedules have aligned. So I'll now finally get this done. And it was for a cover-up design. But anyways, I was at my appointment and I just started like babbling about how hard freelancing is. And I was like, in my mind, I could hear myself be like, you gotta like chill out and like talk about something less dreary. It's freaking Thursday morning. You need to chill out. So I just like, she was really nice. She was just like, yeah, it's really tough. And yeah, tattoo's also hard right now because no one wants to buy original pieces. And, or like no one can afford like this kind of extra, how do you say, how did she put it? There's another word for it. But basically like non-necessities. And yeah, she was just like, yeah, it's hard. And I was like, I'm so sorry. We started the morning so intensely. So yeah, I need to like calm down because or else the next few videos are probably going to be me talking about finances. But in other news, I will be traveling a little bit in June. No, not June. In next month, May. Just so I can get some stuff ready and take I guess like check out some places that I want to, that are potential for moving to. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. It'll force me to like not be at my desk and do some sightseeing for like my next location. I hope it's not going to be too hard, to be honest. My siblings have been like, well, what kind of thing do you want in the city? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not very, I guess the only thing I really want is some access to Asian food and access to queer communities. I don't think I've ever mentioned it on YouTube, but I'm definitely genderqueer. And lately I find myself really comforted by like just the presence of like other queer people. And it's not to like not to like shame at all like cishet people, but like I often feel when someone comes to me and tells me that they're genderqueer or like any like LGBTQAI2S, it's getting long. Anyone part of like non-normative not category but identity, I feel very comforted because I was telling Leo, my friend, a while ago, I was like, I just love so much. Oh, sorry, the music is a bit loud. I just love so much that being queer is like its own culture, and it's like almost regardless of race. Like queer itself has its own like history and culture that has like evolved over time. It's obviously different for like all the various different countries and stuff, but at the same time, like when you think about it, like the subculture of like genderqueer people is so interesting because of like how it's able to quote unquote thrive. I wouldn't really say thrive, but how it's able to be seen in at least the Western Hemisphere. Like thinking about like all the past protests for like transgender rights and also gay rights and stuff like that. And I just think it's like really cool. I actually just really love being queer, and I love meeting other queer people so much that sometimes I just want to be like, what's your experience? How did you know? How did you find out? And how did you come out and stuff? I guess this segment is appropriate because it's April, and April 1st was Trans Visibility Day. Happy Trans Visibility Day, trans friends. How do you do, fellow trans people? And yeah, it's just really interesting to see how that evolved and how like visibility for queer people evolved over time. Even like in my lifetime, it's already very different from when I was younger. Cause like, yeah, I can't imagine living my truth, quote unquote, living my identity, I guess, even like 10 years ago is so much more different than now. I want to say that it's better. I think it is better, and it's also different. I wish to say that things are much better, but there's so much like news about like queer hate, anti like trans and queer hate and like stuff like that it's hard to see the positive side sometimes. But that's also like how news is, and how, you know, like the doom and gloom of news reporting. But at the same time, I know that there's also a beautiful side to being queer now, like in presently. Where's my eraser? Oh no, oh here. Yeah, I just think, so this month I was just thinking, recently, lately, it's been on my mind a lot. I'm just thinking about like how I get really excited when I meet other LGBTQAI2S people. And that's one of the requirements for like my next place. Like I want to make sure obviously it's queer friendly, and you know, I can meet different people like that. Oh, I shouldn't have started with this one because that was the fresh one. Okay, we'll do the old one. Yeah. Learning my lesson, touching the... There is something not quite dry. Maybe I'll do this later, even though it's the first one. It looks still... Okay. I need to put like reminders. But yeah, actually, Transvisibility Day, I posted some thoughts on Instagram, and I got like really interesting messages in my DMs from friends, and it made me like really happy to hear from them, but also like my heart goes out to them. Because like everyone's experiences are really different, and some people have it really hard, especially when we talk about like family and such, because not everyone's family is very accepting about their children's identity, even though I feel like it shouldn't matter, but it does to people. Even my own parents, like, to be fair, like I don't think they take it very well. When I came out to them, they were like, they didn't take it well. It took them a few years. I think even now they don't really grasp who I am or how I am. Not that it should matter too much, but it makes it hard to talk to them for sure. And I definitely do not talk to them on a regular basis. Not that we're not in a bad relationship. It's just that I don't there's no, I don't feel like the space is adequate enough for me to like express a lot of my thoughts, and I tend to be a bit more abrasive in my family. Like I won't shy about like yelling at my parents about mental health and like BLM and stuff like that. Like I will correct them if they say something like super like not PC. I will be like, you should not say that, and this is why. And my siblings don't say anything, and I'm like, hello, are we all just okay with this? But yeah, I need to I don't like argue or like shout at them or anything. I just like breathe, and I'm like, okay, it's time to explain to them. Explain it to them like they're 5. And to my parents' credit, they do try to listen, which is not the case for a lot of people out there. So when my some of my friends were reaching out to me after I made those Instagram posts, I was just like, ooh, I feel you guys, but also thanks for telling me. But also, like, I feel sympathy for the difficulties that they go through. But I also hope that once they find out and feel who they really are and are happy with it, that they can like really embrace the experience of being genderqueer. Because I just think it's so wonderful to have like so much variety in the human spectrum. So one of my favorite podcasts called Gender Spiral that Leo linked me, I just like, it's my like comfort podcast because I like go back to it every once in a while because there's so many there's so many different experiences of how like a non-binary person can have such a varied and different experience from another non-binary person. Like just thinking about how like non-binary can be just like I'm void of gender, and then other non-binary are like gender fluid, which is like I can just hop between all genders, and then others are like just like all gender encompassing, and they're like you can call me every pronoun. I was like, wow, I don't know how that feels like. I feel like I'm just a void in many aspects of my inside, but yeah, that's really cool. When I heard that, I was just like, wow, everyone has such different experiences, and that's what makes like life so rich and beautiful. I don't know why I'm talking about this part, but it's just something on my mind because of Trans Visibility Day, and I am very shy about posting my personal thoughts on the interwebs. There was a time where I posted like my journal entries and stuff like that, but then I became a little bit hyper aware of how a lot of people can see my content, my life, and then start talking to me about my life from the content that I've posted, and I'd be like, how do you know that? And then I was like, oh yeah, I posted about that. And then so I was like, well, this is kind of awkward because I've forgotten that a lot of people know me at a level that I don't know them at. And so I stopped posting personal stuff too much. And I have to say, because I never expect people to look at my stuff. Which is kind of like self-degrading, I guess. But yeah, so I stopped posting too much personal stuff. But then recently I was kind of like, because of the frustration I've been feeling for the people of Palestine and the basically the whole watermelon movement, and I was like, yeah, like we can't, same as for Black Lives Matter, there was a reason why I didn't speak out in a lot of these movements, partly out of necessity, but also, like, if I'm really honest, there's like a lot of fear about speaking out. And even now, like if I'm as I'm recording, I'm like, should I even be talking about this stuff? But there was a post on Instagram from someone where like they're like, basically the gist of it was that like they meaning like the colonial mindset don't want us to speak out because, or like the military propaganda don't want us to speak out because it's like just spreading more resistance, I suppose. I'm trying to word things properly because I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff. Actually, this is probably the first time I talk about this stuff on the video. Am I gonna post this? Yes, I will post this. But like the silencing of voices is basically propaganda for the oppressor, and it made me think a lot about like a lot of the previous movements that happened in the last few years, how like it's just you have to speak up for those who cannot and those who are not heard, and because it's a privilege. And even though I'm scared, even right now I'm scared, and I'm basically recording this alone and I'm already scared. I feel myself feeling scared. yeah, where was I going? But yeah, it's I think about this newscaster that I followed for a long time, and after she retired, they had an interview with her, and she was like, it was right as COVID restrictions were getting less strict, and one of the questions to her was like, oh, what would you like to see in society as we like move forward from, I guess, COVID, which is sad because as we all know right now, COVID is still very rampant, but everyone seems to have forgotten about it. But she said, like, I want people to be able to strive for excellence again. Her name's Carol. You can find like that interview on like I think CBC or something. But I was just like, oh, because she was, obviously we have a lot of sympathy for everyone who has gone through the last few years, because COVID was so hard, and then all these movements of like BLM, Me Too, Watermelon, COVID, with like a lot of discrimination, residential schools, all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, we're tired. It's true, we're all tired. But she was like, I still hope that people can learn, go back to not just being okay, but striving for excellence. Because during COVID, we were so tired. We're like, we're just striving to survive. I don't know, like, because that was 3 years ago already. I don't know how she sees where we are in this moment. I wonder if she sees things having improved. But yeah, that line really stuck with me for a long time. I am not saying, I hope when people like listen to my videos that like, it's not that I recognize my faults in a lot of things. But it can't stop me from speaking my thoughts and just trying to tell myself to be a good person, I guess. Yeah, deep thoughts. I hope you enjoy these deep thoughts with cute Animal Crossing music. But you know what I realized recently as well is that like my own fear and insecurities like causes me to be really judgmental. And that's not a good thing. It makes me really sad. Like when I think about it. I have a lot of like self-esteem issues, and there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I missed the train on this thing because I was just never confident enough to reach for good things for myself because I didn't think I deserved them. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way too. And you should stop thinking that way. We can all try together. This feels a bit like Bob Ross, like, hey, let's relax and draw and talk about positive things. But yeah, it's hard though. I'm not saying it's easy. It's super hard. Look, you guys, no smudging. No smudging yet. It's okay if I smudge watercolors. it's less bad. Me English no good. Anyhow, I've been on a Porter Robinson binge because his Nurture album is like my comfort album. I did really enjoy his new single, Cheerleader. But then I'll hop back and forth between like Cheerleader and Nurture. I wanted to put on Porter Robinson for this recording, but then I was like, oh, copyrights. Oh, I did finish my Pokemon challenge this week, and I'm really pleased about it. There will be a sketchbook flip through. So right now I'm just painting the shadow onto the line art first. This really helps me like use the because when I don't do this, the colors sometimes like I pick very disjointed colors, but this helps to set the right mood for the overall images. And sometimes I can choose 2 colors for shading, but just doing 1 today. Okay. Wonder if I should. Maybe after. Okay, that's still wet. I need space for this. Going back to like meeting queer people, it's just like really exciting for me because I personally really like to hear people's stories. So sometimes I'm really nosy. I've definitely asked, like, just like right off the bat, oh, how did you realize you were genderqueer? Oh, how did you first realize you were attracted to the same gender or stuff like that? And it's like my nosiness. It's purple. I just want to know. Tell me all your queer stories if you're willing to share. This is going on YouTube, so be careful. If someone's listening out there and I was like, oh, I want to share, just be careful. This is public internet, public space. Protect your identity first. But I think the more we share as our stories as human beings, it helps us connect to each other. And of course there's like appropriate times to share and then times where it's not. And yeah, there's a lot of instances where sometimes like we overshare and it's like not the place to do it, my dude, but I still realize the importance of not storytelling in a sense of like story sharing so that people don't feel alone in their struggles. Because there's so many like hidden things in our lives, or like not hidden, but we don't see every part of everyone's lives, and someone might seem like they're thriving, but they might be really struggling inside. And I try to remember that because sometimes I can jump into conclusions, but everyone's at different pace in their life, and life is already hard enough, so need to extend kindness. It's so hard though. But we gotta try. I know I say these things, but I don't. I also know that I have a really hard time practicing these kind of stuff. So I'm like, hey, can you, hey self, just try a little harder, okay? Got that one. So I think after I paint, I'm gonna go chill a bit. Last week, because it was really hard on me, I totally took like a half day off and played video games. I was like, I need to work on freelance and my Patreon and stuff like that, but I'm gonna do some self-care time. So I cleaned up my space. I think I mentioned this on Patreon already. I cleaned up my space. I ate lots of snacks. And I played Pokemon. I was playing Pokemon Black and White 2 because I realized I didn't finish the game. Like, why didn't I finish the Pokemon League? I was at like that kind of intersection where your Pokemon team is just like at the cusp of being okay to like take to the league. But since I was like chancing it, I was like, I have enough like items, I guess. Like revives and full restores. So I was like, let's give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then when I beat like 3 of the Elite Fours, I was like, oh, I have a chance, but I'm also out of revives. So I had to like be really strategic. Who to give a potion and who to heal during a battle. I beat it though. I was like, yeah, let's go. Beat it by a hair. So everyone died. Okay, I should have done, I don't know why I do this. I should put yellow first, because then the water's all blue. Look at this. Oh, now I'm like, this one doesn't have yellow. I'm gonna try to add it in now. Yeah, so I've been having these really deep thoughts. The ones that I've been spewing the whole 52 minutes ago. But I haven't been journaling. I should have been journaling them now. I'll do that after. You know what? Yeah, after I paint, I'm gonna take a break and write about feelings. Also reminded me that like I had the really nice chance to meet Love Soup, and we did a little co-working session together. And it was just like really nice to catch up with her. I feel like there are people that come into your life. I guess lives. I can see like people having multiple lives. But yeah, there's people that come and go in your life, and sometimes you don't talk to them regularly, but like if you're willing to be vulnerable and be honest with someone else, like it becomes a really nice friendship. I don't know. I hope Sai doesn't see this, because it's just like deep thoughts. I love you. But yeah, I don't know. I think recently I've been reaching out to a few friends that I definitely don't talk regularly, and I feel like I really should like try to keep up once in a while. Like it's not like we need to talk to each other regularly, but I feel bad that like a lot of times when I talk to them, it's to like update on something huge or like ask a favor, and then or like, you know what I realize is like people are so kind to me, and I don't know if I've been kind back? Question mark? I mean, I try, I think. I don't know, but it's just like I think I'm just like flabbergasted at like people's kindness and generosity sometimes, and it makes me want to be a better person, basically. Yeah. Is it dry? Yes. Oh, there's already yellow. Okay, all the shade has been added in. Yeah, so it's a little bit different than, sometimes I'll do the shade after the base color and sometimes I'll do them before, depends on like how I feel that day. So today we're doing shade first. A little bit blue, blue-green. Yeah. I should have colored the sky. Here. Okay, that's better. Whoops. Uh-oh, that's too blue. Well, this is what we're working with. Gonna do green here. Okay, looks good. We'll do a lighter green at the bottom. I think we'll keep this color. Actually, I really like keeping the gross mix. I don't know where I learned this to like smear it with my finger. I think I must have picked it up like from an urban sketcher or something. I haven't seen a lot of people do that technique. I like how it's turning out. It's cute. have to say though, I have been really enjoying like painting for Patreon. I don't know if it shows, but like I have been really enjoying painting like in general for Patreon. Okay, almost there. I think we'll probably like touch it up a bit with colored pencils. Let it dry first. I like having multiple pieces going on, so like while one dries I can work on the other. I don't know if anyone remembers this guy. He was like my second Patreon sticker. This is a little star-nosed mole. This one's water rabbit. For Talvi, I really like breaking out of the norm and shading with pink. Because I just always picture them pink. Sixy. Which foot? And then this is the Cosmic Chipmunk. Can do the green now. Alrighty, looking good. Kessa, Star Fox. There's a Stellar J on top here. I was also thinking, like, what else happened this month? There was the eclipse. There was a lunar eclipse. It was very cloudy where I was, so we didn't see anything. It was a regular cloudy day. It made me think about what did people in the past like feel about the eclipse without knowing that it's the eclipse. I'm like, oh, this is the stuff where people go like, dark magic. It must have been hard living without science. Or like advanced science, I suppose. Alright, this one's kind of done. Just gonna put a little color here. Okay, this one's good. This one's pretty good. I think I'm gonna leave it. Oh, I have to color the collar. That's done. Talby's done. Kessa's done. Just 60 left. Uh, 60's color, I think is blue. Okay, I think the painting part's done. So far, no tragedies. Okay. So far, so good. I'm really pleased. I was like, yes. Okay, we have Posca white. We have color pencils here. I'll pick a couple. This is navy. This is ultramarine. We'll do a green. Definitely do yellow. We also need yellow for Talby's halo. Whoops. Oh, the star-nosed mole is not finished. Okay, maybe we'll do color pencil instead. Let me see. Okay, too late. There we go. Okay. I want to do green too. This. Still wet. Careful. I have to wait for this part to dry so I can do a bit of color pencil in it. But for now, just keep moving because we can. I really like the look of freehanding. So unless I really need to be precise, I like to freehand things. sharpen. Sharpen a bit. I'm gonna do yellow in the flowers, just for a little pop. Let's keep it like this. Music stopped. We're almost done. What? Sorry. Scared myself. Here we go. Okay, that's waiting for Pascal. This one is still a bit wet. Let's see. Oh, we're good. Okay, Pascal time. I'll do this last. Oh wait, there's a little flower here. Can't resist doing the Posca. This is the old smeared version, old smeared postcard, but I drew a militant on the side. Okay, so my phone died and ran out of storage, but basically we went over with Posca, and yeah, there's just like little sprinkles and sparkles here and there. And these are the 4 postcards for this month. I really like how they came out. I think the more I do them, I've been like enjoying them, trying to make them more and more cohesive, and I'm liking the result. So thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to me ramble about a lot of weird stuff and brain junk and thoughts. I hope you guys take care, and I'll probably rant again next month. But do take care until then. And thank you guys always so much for the support. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.